And a 1, 2. Savoy, the home of sweet romance. Savoy, but when you hide a glance. Savoy, give happy feet the chance to dance. Your form just like a clinging vine. Your lips so warm and sweet as wine. Your cheek so soft and close to mine, divine. How my heart is singing while the band is swinging, never tired of romping and stomping with you at the Savoy. What joy, the perfect holiday. Savoy, we can glide and sway. Savoy, please let me stop away with you. Chords. C13. No A string on this one, guys. F. Now this is a funny F, and you can always play a regular F if you want, but man, this one's really cool. Third finger on the bottom 2 strings, fret 3. Then you're going to put your first finger on like an A minor chord, right? Fret 2 of the G string, that's an A note. And you're gonna let that first finger just kind of fall and touch the string underneath so that it cannot ring. You want it to tickle the pillow of your index finger, okay? So you've got that third finger strong. That means this muscle here is getting a good workout, and the tendon which controls this part of the hand. And then the first finger is really putting pressure on the tip. Usually when you're barring, you want to put pressure all the way across, but we're not barring here. We are pressing one string and muting the next. So if you have a lot of trouble with this one, try with just your index, like you're going to play an A minor chord with your index, and just let it touch the C string underneath. See if you can get that sound. A note and a plunk. Then you're going to take your ring finger and press those 2 strings underneath it. Now, I used to spin crepes when I first got home from school. And when I was being trained to spin the crepe, the lady told me, listen, we're going to drop the dough, and you're going to take this little wooden dowel, kind of look like a rake without prongs at the end, right? Just a little piece of wood with a wooden stick. And you have to take that wooden stick, you got to stick it on the grill, and you just have to go like this with your finger. And you're just allowing it to just go in a circle on the grill. If you try to put pressure down to make it happen, it will snag the dough, and then your crepe is ruined. And I mean, I'm talking like we were making, these are big crepes, kind that you fill and stuff with all kinds of delicious things. So we pour the dough on, and I put the little dowel on, and in my mind I was thinking, I need to make it move the dough. And So I was kind of putting a little bit of pressure to move the dough and it would just snag it. And I finally learned that just what she had told me, less effort gives a much better result. So I put the dowel down and I just went whoop, as if I didn't care what was happening down below. I just went whoop, and it would make the perfect crepe, I have to say. It was a great crepe. Kind of the same case here. I've taught this to private students and it feels like they're trying to make it happen. Whereas you really just want to you're going to be rolling into the pinky side of your ring. So just push those 2 strings down. And really think about what I said earlier, that it doesn't take a lot of pressure. It doesn't take as much pressure as you think. So this is actually a very easy chord to play. Don't overthink it. Like this. Next chord, G flat diminished 7. I aim for fret 5. You see the little dot there? We're going to do like a G shape, not down here on the regular strings of a G chord, but instead up toward my chin. 5, 6, 5. And again, we're going to ignore that last string. Now to switch from a G flat diminished 7 to a B flat, we're going to relax the hand once again. Relax, and we're going to swivel that middle finger down to fret 6, and then the other 2 fingers just crisscross. Here's an up close, so I've got this. Middle finger moves while the other 2 swap. So come back with your middle finger down. Middle finger slides up while the other 2 crisscross. This is going to be very important that you just practice that. If you get a buzz, anytime you get a buzz, just slide toward the middle. That's what I just did. I was a little too far back. You hear that? Buzz. Just slide right into the middle. So there's G flat diminished 7. Crisscross to B flat, ignoring the A string the whole time. When you're doing a bar chord, you want to focus on pressing all of the strings evenly across the metal bar. What can happen sometimes is if you try to press your tip down, if you put too much pressure in the tip of your finger, then it creates an arch. We want to avoid the arch. So I actually want you to take that first knuckle and invert it. Press it into the fretboard. Your thumb is nice and strong on the back. And you're going to bar all the way across. Remembering that in this song, you're actually going to be pulsing that bar. So you get a little bit of a rest in between. Now, of course, for all of our bars, it's not just a bar all the way across. We have to add some fingers. So here is our B flat 7. Now I had a little thud thud happening here on the E string, so I had to press more pressure onto that. As soon as I heard it, my first instinct was to just press that knuckle further into the fretboard. B7. E flat 7. E7. A flat. Now in the play along I'm going to call out A flat 7, but it is just easier to do just a little A flat, which is a bar with like an F shape hanging below it. If you would like to do the 7, you take that pinky and add it down to the very next fret on the C string. So for the A flat 7, we would have our pinky down on the 6th fret of the C string. You might notice if you were to cut off the ukulele from the top going up like this, it looks like an F7. And we'll just drag that shape up for the A. D flat 7. And we just lightly take the pressure off, not lifting our finger from the string. Glide back 1 fret and press for C7. When we do our turnaround section, we're going to have a 1-6-2-5 in F. That means is we're going to start off with that same F we did earlier. Then we're going to actually take that middle finger. Hopefully you haven't been using that middle finger down here. I suppose you could, but I recommend you don't. Middle finger is going to walk back and your ring finger is going to come over. But this first finger is still muting the C string. As you can see in the diagram, there's an X over that string. So this is basically a Hawaiian 7 with a C note on top, which is still a Hawaiian D7, which is still a D7, but now G minor. If you did my song from scratch video, watched it for I Can't Give You Anything But Love, you'll recognize this one. Ignore the A string at the bottom. And then back into that C13 again. 1, 2, C13, F. 1 and 2, C13, F. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, diminished, B flat. Here it comes, C13, F, D7, G minor, C13, repeat, F, back at the top of the page. C13, F, diminished, B flat, C13, F, F7, we've got B flat 7, B7, B flat 7, E flat 7, E7, E flat 7, A flat 7, A7, A flat 7, D flat 7, C7, C13, F, C13, F, diminish, B flat, C13, F, F6, back and forward. And a 1, 2, 5, 1, 5, 1, flat 2 diminished, 4, 5, 1, a 6, 2, 5, 1, back to the top, 5, 1, flat 2 diminished, 4, 5, 1, dominant 1, we got a 4, sharp 4, 4, all dominants here, flat 7, 7, flat 7, flat 3, 3, flat 3, still dominant, we've got a augmented 5th,